Hi there. Welcome to the Whiskey Catapult, where we catapult around the world trying different whiskeys. Today, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I have a distillery that I'm very, very excited to try. This is Killowen, an Irish single malt that I've always heard really good things about this distillery. So I was really excited to give them a try. Now, I already have a slight issue with this one at the beginning, just from a cost perspective. So I've seen this whiskey or this distillery available locally in my area, which is Texas, and it's a 375 milliliter bottle, aged for 3 years, and it was like $100, which too steep for me for the age and what it was, the size of the bottle, etc. I found this one at a shop recently, same shop that I saw the other one at. This one's aged 5 years, so a little bit more. It's also a 375 milliliter bottle, which I'm not too happy about, but it was $65. And that was enough for me to pull the trigger on it. So this is a relatively new distillery from Ireland. They do kind of small batch productions. This one specifically, I think it said, was 1,800 bottles. This is batch number 1. This is a 5-year-old finished in dark rum casks and PX sherry butts. So they say on the bottle that this one is rum and raisin inspired. And if you look on their distillery website, they actually a couple of full-size bottle in the 700 milliliter with the same profile in mind. I don't know if it's the same, if this is more like a small batch version than what the regular one does, but obviously this one's a smaller bottle because this one's also 375 milliliters, but it's 55% alcohol, 110 proof, so decided to give it a try. So on the back here it says that it was aged for 5 years in bourbon casks, and then it was divided and finished into they make a dark rum, so they use their very own dark rum casks to age finish part of it in, and the rest of it in PX sherry butts. So not too bad. It doesn't say how long that it was finished in those two casks for to kind of marry together, but based on this being a 5-year-old whiskey, I wouldn't imagine too long. The nose is really light, which I kind of expect from a 5-year-old whiskey. It is on the youthful side, a little bit more on the spirit focus. It doesn't have any alcohol burn, which is really nice. But it's a little light, kind of sweet. I can kind of pick up some of the rum cask influences in there. Like sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't, but I actually appreciate that it's noticeable in this one. I've had other whiskeys that are rum cask finished that you couldn't tell that they were finished in rum cask. So this one at least had some impact on it, which is nice. But it's nice and refreshing. Taste is pretty good too. There's a little bit of oak spice in there, which is really nice. I wouldn't have expected that for the age on there, but I do get the Caribbean Rum influence a little bit. It's got a little bit of a vanilla frosting on the back end, and then it does have some of the dark fruit notice in there from the PX sherry cask. I wouldn't say that it doesn't remind me of regular raisins, but it does remind me of golden raisins, if you've had those before. I think it's just a little bit more on the lighter side of the, I guess, raisin spectrum, if that exists. But on the back it says it's going for flavors of prunes, figs, and raisins, combined with Caribbean notes of coconut and vanilla. I do get a little bit of vanilla. Don't really get the coconut, but maybe if I had a little bit more time. But it's nice. It's really good quality. It does say on the back that it's non-chill filtered. It doesn't say that it's natural color, but as you can see, I think it probably is. But clearly it didn't spend too much time in the PX sherry cask though, so. But it is a newer distillery. So I give them a slight pass on that. But I don't know if quite I'd say it lives up to the hype, but it is pretty good. I am liking it so far. I usually wouldn't want to do a review on a fresh crack like this. I just opened this one today, but given that St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, I feel like it'd be a fun one to kind of talk about and bring up a little bit. Do one more try. This would be a really good one for summertime. Unfortunately, in Texas, we just got a little bit of a cold front coming in, so I think this will be better in another month or two. Yeah. It's really enjoyable. I like it. That's the tough part about it, is really the price and the bottle size. And I don't know if this is necessarily the distillery's fault. I think it could just be a cost of tariffs, import fees, taxes, all that stuff to kind of make these as expensive as they are. I don't know if it's necessarily, because at the distillery on their website, they do sell a 700 milliliter type bottle like this, and I think it was 57 pounds, something in that range. So I think it's more of just the part of importing thing. There's a high possibility that the local shop that I went to was in the area, grabbed a couple bottles off the shelf, and are trying to make a profit off of it there, which is why the cost is so high. It's hard to tell. Would I be a buyer for the 3-year $100 bottle? Absolutely not. Would I rebuy this one? If they re-release this one at a 700 or 750 milliliter bottle at a reasonable price, I would probably be a buyer at this one again. But as it sits today, for what I paid for it and what I got it, I would say this is more of a try it than a buy it, especially for the price area. So if you happen to be in the area of Ireland or have a friend who has this bottle or see one at a bar, I think it's worth giving a try, because I think it's pretty good. And I'm curious. This is a distillery that I'm going to start watching. I'm going to keep my eye on them, see what else they're doing, what other kind of releases they're kind of be going through, and if this is going to be their kind of main staple, I see good things in their future. So, yeah, really good. I appreciate it, though. So, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, have a good St. Patrick's Day. Cheers.